Today I wanted to show you how to create a thumbnail using GIMP. You've started your adventure. Now you have a story to tell. But how? This is your show, RV Media Creators. I'm Garrett, and in this community, we will show you how. So let's show the world your story. GIMP is a free photo editing program that you can use on Mac or PC. I will leave a link in the description where you can download GIMP yourself. It is a free open source photo editing program, and I've absolutely loved it. I've been using it for years, so I wanted to show you some basics here. Let's jump right in. I have left up the template for the Diary of a Family channel here so that you can see how I create a thumbnail. Let's go ahead and upload a new image and we'll go from there. So say new. The biggest thing you want to make sure, and it is the optimal image size for every thumbnail on YouTube. It is 1920 by 1080. It is necessary to use that size for mobile and for desktop. So hit new image, hit OK, and you'll see that you come up with a blank image. One thing that I like to do is get two markers or lines that kind of help you with the middle. So in 1920, that would be 960 by 540. What I have done here is use two lines to intersect where the middle of the picture would be. This is really important when you're lining up text, when you're lining up any kind of images, and you'll notice that I have a couple different ruler guidelines here so that I have our banner lined up and such. Now that we have that done, let's go ahead and open a picture as a layer. Alright, so I've picked my image, and the image itself will be pushed as a new layer. So you can make it visible or invisible, and you can move it so it's a lower layer or an above layer. Let's go over some of the basic tools that you have in GIMP that'll be helpful for you. Right here at the bottom right hand corner is your layers, and these will show you every layer that you create. I have two layers right now. When I imported this photo, I said I wanted to open it as a layer, so I brought the image in as a new layer. And layers are important when you're making any kind of thumbnail or any kind of picture, as you can put text over it, you can add another image, or you can edit accordingly. We're going to keep it very basic for this video. Over here are some of the tools that you'll want to keep track of. You have a select tool, and this allows you to select a region. So if you select a region, you can do stuff like you're going to erase it, or you can copy it and make it, paste it somewhere else if you want to try and make duplicates. Very important to keep that tool in the back of your mind a little bit further down the process of making a thumbnail. The next is moving your image. This one, you want to make sure that you have the current layer that you want to move selected, and then you just click and grab, and you can move the image anywhere. The next tool is your scale tool. The scale tool is very important, especially if you're importing an image that is larger. You want to be able to make the image smaller so that it's not too big and kind of cutting off heads and stuff like that. So we're going to click that, and for this video we're going to make it a little bit smaller. So when you're sizing your image, you want to make sure that you don't make it too small. So I know that our width is 1920, so I want to make sure that I at least don't go down below 1920 on my width or 1080 on my height. I will scale that, and then I will move that into position, and now I have a great image. It's a little bit smaller, but still has the subject and what's going on. When you have a picture that's larger and a different scale ratio, you can kind of move it around and find a good spot for that picture. So if you go too high, that is definitely cutting the image off. If you go too low, it does the same thing. It cuts the lower part of the image off. I like the part because it has the Grand Canyon in the background. Let's kind of go just a little bit more so that you see all of that. All right, I'm happy with that. as my photo layer. Now I'm going to add a text. What's really cool is that this program comes downloaded with a ton of different types of fonts. A lot of them are fairly cheesy, but if you find something you like and that's you, go for it. I like to keep it on Impact Condensed because it's very simple and very easy to work with. I just added a text layer. Now, what you'll notice is that it's kind of small. And if you think of it as a thumbnail, that's that size, you're gonna be like, oh my, this is crazy. Well, let's show you how to make it bigger and make it stand out. You can highlight by selecting and just dragging over the entire sentence that you wrote. And I suggest you keep it simple. If you want it to go all the way along the bottom or the top, you can keep it one line. If you want it to go down one side, do word on top of each other. Let's go ahead and just do it one line across. And now when you look at this, so let's put it like right there. When you condense this image down to something smaller, you'll still be able to read the words that were written there. Now what I'm going to do is create a shadow behind the lettering. What you need to do here is go to Filters, Light and Shadow, and put in a drop shadow. You can do the size, the blur, all that kind of stuff, color, and then you hit done. When that's done, you can tell that it helps the letters pop out. That is really important when you're trying to get people's attention. You'll notice that I've picked a photo that's bright, that's colorful, that people will be like, ooh, that's a Grand Canyon photo, that's awesome. And they'll be interested in what this video might be about. You can do other things to kind of make this photo your own. You could do like adding your own logo. Let's go ahead and open as layers. Here is my spinner that I use for my channel logo. I can take that and I can add it up in the corner. That's another way that you can create like a brand. Take a logo that you created for your channel and add it somewhere in the photo. Make sure I have the right thing selected. I can move it over there. I can move it down below. I can move the image to be behind the lettering. You can layer it back and forth so that it looks really cool. Or you can move it over here. Let's leave it over here. Now I have created a thumbnail. So I can go ahead and save it. And then when I'm done saving it, I will export as, put it in the RV Media Creator folder, and you say, I'll just do test thumbnail.jpg. Export. Now that you've created your image, that is the image you will upload to YouTube when you're uploading your video. The other step that is very important, especially if you're trying to create a brand, is to save the project file itself. So to do that, you do File and you'll hit Save. Do RV Media Creators, Test Thumbnail, and save it. This way, now I have created not only the thumbnail itself, but also a saved file that has my logo there, has the same font size and the same font type. Every time I come in, all I have to do is really just change the background image and change some of the lettering, size it up, put the drop shadow in it, good to go. There are a whole bunch of other free photo editing programs, and there are ones that you can pay for. If you like having free, then I suggest you check out GIMP. It's a fantastic program. If you want to pay money or you have a little more experience with photo editing, use whatever program that works for you and you're most comfortable with. Stay tuned next week for editing on a mobile device. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, I'm Garrett, and I want to help you tell your story.